So after about putting 8,000 miles on this bike in about a period of 3 months, I think it's time that I give a proper review of the bike. About me, I've been riding for over 10 years, owned everything from 250s to sport bikes to 900cc bikes, logged over 30,000 miles on 8 different bikes, and I chose this Vulcan without test riding it because I really like the looks of it. But let me clarify. If I saw this in its stock form, I would never have given it a second look. But the previous owner of my Vulcan really put some tasteful mods on it to where I really fell in love with it. I think it's the white balls that did it for me. It really does look like a Harley, right down to the badge, and everyone thinks it's a fat boy, but it's not. I'm 5'4", 120, and the bike fits me perfectly. We had to angle the handbar a little bit lower so that it shortened the reach for me about an inch or two. Otherwise, my arms actually would be a little bit higher up than what I wanted. But by angling the handlebars down a little bit, it's perfect. Mirrors are fantastic, no vibrations whatsoever. I'm able to see behind me without the blurry. I was thinking about replacing the mirrors with the chrome mirrors, but the way they're working right now, I didn't want to mess it up. Seat height's really super low. It's only 28 inches. It's really light. It's about 518 dry, so it's easy to maneuver. I can do U-turns with it without thinking about dropping it, and backing up and parking really slow speed maneuvers are effortless. The guy who had this before me only had it for a couple of months, and he was really big. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't recommend this to someone that's over 5'10". It's really going to be too small. I mean, your knees are going to be up to your ears, so keep that in mind if you're looking at one of these. Performance for an 800cc bike, it's really docile. For new riders, it wouldn't be a stretch to jump on one of these after riding a 250 bike, and there's enough power for those that are seasoned to ride it as well. And you don't have to downshift to pass anybody, so it's got the power. For highway riding, there's really no vibration. No problem passing folks. Sweet spot seems to be 65 miles an hour. That's more of a personal preference. Because I don't ride with a windshield any faster, I get all the wind on me, and I don't ride with a windshield because this thing is really terrible with wind buffeting. So I've tried different heights of windshield, and it's regardless, it's just useless. So I've taken off the windshield, which is so much better. In the mountains, it's a blast to ride. It's really flickable. However, I do scrape pegs pretty quickly, so there's not much of a lean that you can do. For commuting, it's really easy on your hands. The clutch is easy to operate. I never get hand fatigue. Even sitting in stop and go traffic, it's fine. I see my friends needing to shake out their clutch hand due to cramping, but really no issues on this bike. What I don't like about the bike is the gear spacing. I mean, it's between 40 and 50 miles an hour. I can't find the right gear for it. I mean, third is too low, fourth is too high, fourth is too low, fifth is too high. So the gearing spacing is I wish I had 6 gears. That's all I can say. Suspension is soft, super soft. It does not absorb bumps very well at all. I've ridden on some back roads, and it's just I've become airborne a lot, and I've dropped my lungs several times. So it can do with better suspension. For brakes, pray that you never have to do an emergency stopping. The front brakes are really squishy. Rear brakes are pretty much non-existent. So if you just give yourself plenty of stopping time, you'll be fine. The fuel economy, I get about 120 miles before I hit reserve. It takes about 2.6 gallons to refill, so that's about 48 miles per gallon. Theoretically, it should give me about 880 miles to a tank, but I haven't tested it yet. I haven't ran it to empty yet. But it just seems that I hit reserve earlier than I should. The reserve speed like 0.8 gallons, so I'm shy about like half a gallon. The other thing is the petcock is really sticky. I have a hard time switching to reserve when riding. A couple times I've had to pull over to crank the knob, so that's something I have to look into. Is like how do you loosen that up? And finally, the headlight. The headlight really isn't as effective as I'd like. It should be brighter, and it's not. So I might need to invest in a light bar here to help. Maintenance. The only thing that I really have to do is just make sure that the oil is changed at regular intervals, and that the chain is lubed, after a long ride, and otherwise it's super reliable. So the only other thing that I've added that I really shouldn't have is the Cobra Pipes. The stock pipes were perfectly fine. And I switched to Cobra because I thought I wanted a louder bike, and the Cobra is just way too loud, and it's got a high-pitched bark instead of a low rumble. So if I had to do it again, I probably would stick with the stock pipes, or else get a different manufacturer of pipes. But that's about it. I mean, it's too bad they don't make these anymore. I sat on the 900 Classic, and it was heavier and longer, and I just didn't fit on it as well. So if you guys find an 800 and it fits you, highly recommend that you get it and just modify it to your liking, because it's a really great bike. And that's about it. Thanks for listening. And I hope you get a chance to ride one.